Great year so far. You guys are 12-0-1 overall, and midway through GSAC, or yeah, close to midway. You guys are 4-0 and in first place. Also ranked number 5 in the country. You guys have come up not being ranked to was 24 or something like that, and you slowly climbing. Now you're in the top 5. Preview or review of the first half of the season so far.
Okay, yeah, I'm really proud of these girls. There's a dynamic on this team that is, they just don't, they never say never. You know, they go for it. There's a heart here. Last year we had 15 new freshman girls. That was a handful, but I mean that in a positive way. Great kids. Most of them are back. Many of them are back and playing at another level of confidence. So the girls have an intrinsic thing about them that they just don't want to lose to anybody, and believe they can compete against everybody. So that's an exciting group of girls to be around when it comes to that. So I'm very proud of them to this point of where we've gone in the season.
And getting to some of those points, did it help for this year that last year you had to throw so many freshmen into the mix and suffered through it, you know, in some of those times, but now they've all gotten a ton of game experience, and it just seems like a different team. Also with the freshmen, it seems to be your fitness of this team seems to be really good.
Yeah, these girls have committed to pretty much everything we've asked them to do. The tactical side of it, the technical side, definitely the fitness side. And so they're a very pliable group. Like I said about the men's team too, they have strong cohesiveness on and off the field. There's a tremendous amount of unity there, and they're willing to work for each other. So yes, in answer to your question, the experience the freshmen had last year, kind of like the deer in the headlights, this year they're productive and they're confident and they know they can play at this level, which sometimes for me is the main thing for a freshman, just realizing that they can do this, and our girls are stepping up. Then I have a couple, 3 freshmen this year who are now getting the same experience and getting some good playing time, which they're just getting better and better.
All right, and I mean, you have a great defense. I think you've given up 4 goals all year. Had a stretch of 7 games or 6 games where you didn't give up a goal at all. In fact, all of September, and then deep into October. So first, let's talk a little bit about the defense.
Okay. Yeah. Well, number 1 is we have an amazing goalkeeper in Tiffany Cracy, and the great thing is I recruited another goalkeeper who backs her up this year, who's very, very good. So our goalkeeping situation, Tiffany was her freshman year first team All-American, which is the first time in the history of women's soccer here that we've had a player on that team, and she very well deserves it. And she's good. She's just a good goalkeeper. But in front of her, you know, she's as good as her defense line in front of her and she has some young ladies led by Erica Wessels, who's a senior, and Leah Porter, who's a senior, but predominantly Erica, who's our captain, and then 2 sophomore girls on the outside flanks, Jessica Van Loo and Maddie White, who they've played together now. They all played last year together, and those 2 girls are freshmen on the outside. So there's a real cohesiveness of their tactical understanding of the game and how they play off of each other and support each other. So I think there's some tremendous unity in that back 5. But then, you know, when you go up front, you have those 2 girls up top. We play a 4-4-2, and you have the 4 in the middle. It's just a team effort to make this team the defensive strength that they've had. So I'm proud of the way the girls have bought into our defensive scheme.
All right, and you know, still in soccer you have to score to win. Last year 6-5-5, which means a lot of ties, and a lot of those were 0-0.
Yeah.
This year you guys are putting the ball in the net a lot more than you have been in the last year. Talk a little bit about that, the offense.
Yeah, Katie Pedlow, all conference, was on the all tournament team. We went to the national final in 2009. So incredible athlete. She's one of the best at getting the ball into the offensive third that I've seen in a long time, whether on my team or any team. So she gets us many cases into a place where she helps us have our throw-ins, our corners, deep in the offensive third. Brooke Winkelpleck has really stepped up this year. Her work rate, her leadership as far as her encouraging the girls, and she's a good player. So we've got those 2 up front. Plus our girls with the fitness level, you know, being able to go forward, not being afraid to go forward, because knowing when they got to get back, they will get back. And so I'm really proud of the way the girls have bought into what we've tried to do also tactically, offensively, is to try to have a scheme where we get the ball deeper into the box as opposed to trying to fire balls from the outside, shoot balls from the outside of the box, the 18-yard. So we worked on being very specific and intentional in trying to get the ball in to the deeper levels around the penalty spot where shots are higher percentage of going in.
In GSAC so far this year, you guys beat Azusa on the road. First time we've ever beaten Azusa flat out. Had a couple of ties where we advanced in the postseason. Had a big win yesterday, overtime at Vanguard. You must be thrilled at getting your 4-0 in conference.
Definitely. GSAC, once again, for the women is tremendous. I mean, I have the utmost respect for APU, and they've been the best team we've had across the board consistently in the GSAC. But the last 3-4 times that we've played them have all been just battles. So my girls' confidence level against the best team in the conference and of the country.
#1 at the time.
Yes, we know that we can play against those teams. And we know that we can get a result from those teams if we go in and just play our game. So that's always encouraging and gives us tremendous confidence. But you know, the girls, we've been fortunate to get the wins. I think the girls have earned it. I'm proud of them. Soccer is a crazy game. Yesterday's overtime win inspired me deeply because it was hot, and both teams were battling that heat, and our girls just got stronger as the game went on. They showed me something from deep inside their core that shows me this is a team that is not going to just roll over. They're not going to lie down. So, and GSAC women's soccer is very strong. And so we have the Masters this weekend at their place. They're good. And Coach Kurt up there has a good team going. And so it's just another battle. Every game's going to be a battle. So.
Yeah, last thing about the season so far, you guys are ranked #5. And it's kind of taken a few people by surprise around here. But, you know, 2 years ago you guys were ranked #2. And a year before that you guys were finalists at the national tournament.
Yeah.
So maybe last year, you know, being 6-5-5 with all the freshmen, was that the more of an aberration than being #5 is right now to you?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, we had a great group of girls, and we graduated out on 2009's national final team. We had an amazing run, and we graduated out with some real confidence and experience. They didn't play all the time, but that group of seniors was just gritty, and they were good leaders. Then we were ranked 2 the next year, which I felt personally was a little high. It was brought off of the last year with the roster being as young. So I think it was a little bit more for us to bite off at that time, and probably we were in over our heads at that time. But being ranked 5 now. One thing I'm really serious about with the girls is we don't discuss that a bunch. We just know that right now the only thing we've got to worry about is the Masters. And sometimes that's a hard thing to do because as you get ranked higher, people start to notice it more. The school gets more excitement. They talk to you more about it. The media, you know, the websites and stuff from the NAIA and all that. So I just try to tell the girls one game at a time because really the Masters is pretty much the only thing that we need to worry about today. And so for me, I have to stick there and stay there. But I'm proud of them, and they played hard this year. I'm taking nothing away from this girls' team as far as their ranking. I think they've earned it. I think they deserve it. But now that was yesterday.
Right.
Now we have to go play and see where we go from here.
Well, I guess last question, how important is it to you to win conference? And on that, how important is it to you to receive to go directly to nationals? So you have to be in the top 11, 12 to go directly to nationals, not host that opening round. So conference, the conference tournament, and then going to nationals. How do you rank those in order?
They're all important to me, George, but I honestly don't spend a ton of time thinking about the details of that too much, because I still know we have to play the Masters this Saturday. It is important, though. Right. I'm not going to sit here and pretend that I'm so ignorant that I don't get any of that. We want to win the conference. We want to win the conference tournament. We want to get a bid to the tournament by natural play-in. But we also understand that the longer we stay healthily high in the rankings, that helps us with the potential of at-large bids. So we're very aware of that. But we flirt with living in that world. But it's Saturday, we're getting on a bus and we're going to Masters. And it's going to be hot. And we're going to have to battle up there. And we'll talk about this other stuff after that game, see what happens.